6 months into retirement, now what? I'm Melinda and I retired a year and a half ago, went back to work, retired again 6 months ago, and this is 6 months into retirement. Have you ever been to that stage in your life? You're wondering, now what? When I retired, it was now what? Now that I've been retired for 6 months, I'm at that place again. What is next? The first thing that I did in order to start figuring out what's next for me is to reflect on the year before and all of the things that I've been through and done and celebrate those things and realize the accomplishments that I've made. This time last year, I was still a principal. I was back to work right now and didn't have time necessarily for this channel and all the things that I have going on now that I have all of this time. My oldest daughter also graduated high school last May and then moved out in August, and that's a big adjustment if you have kids or having a person move out of your house. She's actually moved back part-time with me, part-time with her dad because she didn't like the dorms. That brought an adjustment for my youngest daughter, and we have had to figure out how we are going to adjust to this time together because it's a lot more time just me and her. My oldest daughter was kind of a buffer, and now it's just me and Cassidy. It's a little bit challenging with a 16-year-old and a 16-year-old's attitude. I also quit looking for jobs. I had been looking for jobs probably for the first 6 months of the year and decided in July that I would stop looking and just substitute teach. So I'm semi-retired. I substitute teach about 3 days a week, sometimes more. It's actually kind of taken up some of the time that I would use to do these YouTube videos, and that's why I have not really been on here a lot. I substituted a lot right before Christmas. And then Christmas, I just kind of wanted to enjoy it as the first time that I didn't have to plan for hundreds of people for Christmas. I also revived this YouTube channel. I have a video on my channel about being on YouTube for 17 years. Yes, I've been on YouTube for 17 years and I've done different things in different seasons of my life. So what's this channel gonna look like and what's it gonna be? Most of what I discuss is retirement, and I didn't realize how important or how many people needed advice or needed to hear how someone else was surviving or getting through retirement, because it's not what you think it's gonna be. This time last year, I also paid off all of my debt. I only have a car payment and a house payment at this time, but I still have monthly fixed expenses. And so adjusting to that has been challenging and also a celebration because I have been able to do it for a year or a little bit more on my own with just my retirement income. I have been budgeting, and I plan to continue to show you guys my budget and how I'm managing my money in this season. I'm currently getting ready to go to the assessor's office to figure out property taxes and all of those things so that I can do my sinking fund challenge for the rest of this year. Therefore, when it comes to property tax time, I already have the money saved and I don't have to figure that out. I have the money, but I want to have it in a specific account that's designated for that. With reflection, I have also learned to give myself grace. So number 2 is giving myself grace during this time and this channel and substitute teaching and relearning our home life with just myself and my 16-year-old and then my 19-year-old kind of in and out. Giving myself grace when it comes to learning about finances, substitute teaching. Also giving myself grace. I worked in a whole new school district last year and didn't realize how much I was going to miss that school community and the people at that school. I thought I would just show up for a year, fill in for somebody, and then be done with it, but I do actually miss the people from that school. Today I was going to check the crumble cookie menu and see if they had this certain crumble cookie that my former secretary likes, and I was going to take her and the secretaries down there crumble cookies. It was been a snow day. We had that big snowstorm that went through the Midwest. And my school that I worked in last year is a really small rural school, so I need to make sure they're actually in school today. Anytime there's snow in small rural Missouri schools, they don't have the equipment to plow the roads, and the roads aren't clear for the buses. So I want to check that, and then I have to check the Crumble menu. But I miss them, and that is a lot. Originally, I missed my school community that I was with for 20 years, and just 1 year I got attached. And so I have to give myself grace. The second thing is giving myself grace to figure all of these things out. As I was watching these YouTube videos and listening to people who are also retired and have retirement YouTube channels, I felt like they had it all figured out and I was behind, or I failed, or I was a quitter at retirement. But I think just giving myself grace in figuring all of this out has been helpful, but I have to remind myself of that instead of feeling guilty or that I'm not enough to provide you guys with retirement information. The third thing that I am doing in order to figure out what's next is to find a new balance or determine what balance means to me. I don't think there is such thing as work-life balance. I think sometimes work is the priority and then life is the priority. Sometimes one is a higher balance than the other, as long as it's not consistently work takes over everything or your life takes over everything. I don't believe that there is a balance as far as that. I need to balance substitute teaching. So how many days a week is appropriate? I've actually been asked to substitute as a principal lately, and I'm struggling with that. I really like just the teaching aspect of it, and I'm honored that this one school invites me to be a substitute principal. I don't understand what they see in me sometimes. I was an elementary school principal, and this is a huge high school, and they have asked me to come and fill in for principals 4 or 5 different times, and they keep asking. And in my mind, I'm like, I don't think I'm that good at it, or I don't think I would do a good job. And I have to get past that. But finding a balance between teaching, sub-principaling, and then this YouTube channel. What do I want my schedule for this channel? I want 2 videos a week, but I've been avoiding it or not doing them. I have been binge watching Netflix shows. I've got to find a balance in that because I feel like I'm just wasting time. I'm retired. I feel like I should be able to binge watch. If I want to binge watch TV for one day, I think I should be able to do that. But I've gotten a little carried away with it. And then social media, I really need to delete TikTok. I hope that there is a TikTok ban, and I've contemplating just deleting the app off my phone. It's just that my friends send me TikToks all the time, and if I delete the app, then I'm not gonna get those. Maybe if I just go a week without watching, and then even if they do send them to me, I just don't watch them and just see what it's like. But I need to find a balance with social media. Here's what I've decided. I am going to break the year up into quarters like they do business quarters. The first quarter is from now until March, and that will include finishing up basketball season. Right now is the busiest part of basketball season. I think there's about 2 games a week, and then there's a couple of tournaments. That'll help me get through that. Probably going to need to sub for a few more things for dental expenses. Find a manageable schedule for this channel and when I'm going to record. My kids have actually been home, and it's hard to record when they're home. Of course, I shouldn't care what a 16-year-old and a 19-year-old think, but they make so much fun of me when they hear me recording these videos. I need to launch my retirement journal. I have been working on it and have the best prompts for retirement. I reworded them, and I have some kind of funny tongue-in-cheek questions, or the way they're worded is more fun than what do you plan to do with your retirement? How are your mornings going to be? It's kind of those prompts, but with a twist. So I would like to have that finished by March, if not before. And I'm almost done, and it's beautiful and I love it. It's just the creative process. These videos and working on digital planners just brings me peace or helps me feel like I'm accomplishing something. And then I'm going to continue, like I said, the budget series with you guys. I've talked about my retirement budget and how I'm making it in retirement and get a lot of really good feedback on that. And I want to keep up that series and create a playlist with my retirement budget. December was a dumpster fire since it was Christmas. I think I used all of my substitute money for Christmas related things, presents, decorations, parties, which is what I substitute for, but I needed to save some of that for a few expenses that are coming up right now. If you're interested in a digital retirement journal, I have created a free empty notebook that's digital to use on an iPad or a tablet. And I put a link to that below just to give you a better understanding of the retirement journal that I've created. I would love to create a paper journal or planner for retirees or those people wanting to retire. I'm just not sure how to do that or what company to go through to create a planner. So if anybody knows what I could do to create a paper or a tangible planner, I would love that. I have a vision and I did watch a YouTube video. I just don't know what company to go through. I'm sure that it would have to be a pre-order where I had to get a certain number of orders before I had the money that I could place the order. I'm scared to dump $5,000 into retirement planners and then nobody buys them. So if anybody knows of a company or a way to do tangible paper planners, then that would be great. So stay tuned for my next video.